Hello and welcome. So today we're going to talk about 4 situations that do not require an LLC. There's a lot of people out there that think that an LLC is required all of the time or most of the time, and they would be wrong, and they are trying to sell you something. So today what we're going to learn are the 4 reasons when you do not need an LLC. If you're new here, my name is Taylor Darcy. I am a California licensed attorney. I'm also the founder and CEO of Think Legal. So welcome. Leave your name in the chat. I hope to work with you and help you in any way I can. All right. So these four things do not require an LLC. If you are starting a business and you do not have substantial assets, so think about stocks, bonds, mutual funds, 401k, that type of thing. And the reason for it is that when you don't have much, there's not much that can be taken from you. A liability shield, such as an LLC or corporation, is really only useful, not only, but it's mainly useful to prevent you from being personally liable for something. And so if you don't have any assets to worry about being taken, then having a liability for that doesn't make a ton of, or a liability shield for that doesn't make a ton of sense given how expensive an LLC costs. The other thing is, if you do not have or will not have employees, if you truly are going to be a sole proprietor, you do not have to have an LLC. It doesn't require it. When you introduce an employee into it, then you add the complexity and the liability that goes with having that employee. And with that employee, you want to have a liability shield to protect your personal assets against their potential actions. The other reason why you may not want a liability shield is if your work is going to be a hobby. If your work is going to be a hobby, then if you're not going to make a lot of income from it, it doesn't make a lot of financial sense or economical sense to spend money on an LLC when that's not going to be your primary source of income. If you are going to just do something on the side as a way to make a little extra money, like they call it a side hustle, then you probably don't need, you don't need an LLC for just a hobby. That being said, you may want an LLC, and we'll talk about that more in just a second. The other reason why you don't need an LLC is if you do not have a home, or you rent an apartment, or you're renting a house. And the reason why is because if you're ever sued, they have nothing to attach as far as assets. So this kind of works with rule number 1, but it's more about, in this instance, a lawsuit. If you were to have a lawsuit happen against you, they have nothing to put a lien on. A home, they can. So if you have a home, then I would absolutely say that you need a liability shield. Same thing goes with employees, or it's going to be your primary source of income. Last, and these are important reasons, but one of the reasons why you want to have an LLC, if even for non-liability reasons, is if you plan on having, if you just want to have it as a business. So this is kind of in with the hobby factor. If you're really looking to grow a business, there'll be some vendors that'll take you more seriously if you're an LLC as opposed to a sole proprietor. All of those things being said, don't let the reasons for or not to keep you from starting an LLC. Make sure that you're doing it, starting the right way the first time, so that you can do it and not run the risk of negative consequences down the road. I hope you're all doing well, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help, and we'll talk to you later.